On this channel in 2019, I uploaded a video to YouTube every single day. This was a bit of a personal challenge for me to see if I could do it, but also so I could make this video that you're watching right now a breakdown of it all. We'll be looking at what happened to my channel over the course of the year and diving into the analytics, which videos performed best, which performed worse, and what were the outcomes and consequences of daily uploads. Perhaps this will help me to understand what works for my audience and what doesn't, but also reveal some secrets and trends in the mysterious and often feared YouTube algorithm. Maybe it could help you in some way. So the initial question you may ask is, why did you want to upload daily? Couple of reasons. Firstly, for me personally, could I do it? Could I keep it up? Challenge myself daily to post something interesting and engaging for my viewers. And second, there is a theory that daily uploads on YouTube are favorable for the aforementioned algorithm. The idea that if you're regularly uploading, YouTube will promote your videos more in subscriber feeds, recommended and trending. So let's look at what happened then. All of this data comes directly from YouTube Studio, and as far as I know, all channels have access to this feature. Starting off with a simple overview of how things went. In 2019, my channel achieved 211,467,283 views in total. That means an average of 579,362 views per day. And it equates to 19.6 million hours of watch time, and that's about 2,236 years. Now, watch time is a very important statistic on YouTube. And while I don't claim to understand exactly how the holy algorithm works, I don't think anyone knows how it does, it's obvious that the more watch time you have, the more your video will be promoted and therefore achieve higher views, and if it's ad friendly, generate more revenue. My average view duration for 2019 was 5 minutes and 33 seconds. That's how long I can typically hold your attention for. I'm happy with this, and being honest, I don't really know if this is a good or bad figure compared to my peers, but I would like this number to be bigger, seeing as most of my uploads are between 10 to 12 minutes in length. So 8 to 10 minutes average view duration is what I'd be aiming for in 2020. In terms of subscribers in 2019, I gained 421,791. Thanks for hitting that sub button. I appreciate you and love you lots. On the flip side, I lost 162,380 subscribers, and that's people legitimately pressing unsubscribe and YouTube deleting old accounts. I'm sad to see you go. Maybe I can make it up to you in the future. Interestingly, the average view duration for people who are subscribed is 6 minutes and 30 seconds, but for those who aren't and may have found my video in recommended or in search, it's only 4 minutes and 55 seconds. So people who tune in regularly and know your style of content are much more likely to watch for longer. In 2019, I had 2.2 billion impressions. Now, an impression is how many times my video thumbnails were shown to viewers on YouTube. And a nice stat to pair with this is click-through rate. Mine was 6%. Click-through rate measures how often viewers watched a video after seeing an impression. This is very important because your thumbnails and video titles are all you have to advertise your channel to an audience who don't know or care that you exist yet. So that list on the side there or on the homepage, you are competing with all of those, and out of that, your video needs to be the most attractive. According to YouTube, half of all channels and videos on YouTube have an impression CTR that can range between 2% and 10%. So I think I'm doing okay with 6%. These are my average viewer ages for 2019. 18 to 24 is at the top at 39.2%, followed closely by 25 to 34 at 36.1%. This is no surprise to me, as my channel is aimed at a more mature audience focused around first-person shooters and tactical games, and I'm very happy with this. It's what I enjoy playing and creating for the most. However, I am definitely missing out a lot on the 13 to 17 category. There are a lot of young people that use YouTube, but ultimately I feel like I would have to change my content considerably to grow in that bracket, and I'm not prepared to do that because it would compromise the enjoyment of my biggest audience members too much. As for gender, 97.3% of my audience is male, 2.7% female, and on average, men watch my videos for 45 seconds longer than women do. My top 10 countries were as follows: United States, UK, Germany, Canada, Australia, Netherlands, Sweden, India, France and Poland. The United States dominates my audience with 36.6% and accounted for over 77 million views in 2019. Before we move on to which individual videos performed the best for me, I wanted to show you a couple of extra stats as I think they are quite revealing about the nature of how content is discovered on YouTube. Analytics will now show you how many of your subscribers have turned on all notifications for your channel, otherwise known as hitting the bell. But then it also shows you out of that number how many actually enabled YouTube notifications on their device. For me, 306.9 thousand of you have dinged that bell, and 168.2 thousand have done that and enabled the notification to actually see it. According to YouTube here, 10 to 30% is average for the first stat and 5 to 20% is average for the second. So for me, at 10.1% and 5.5% of my total subscriber base of 3 million, I am within average, but I'm right at the lower end of it. This is no surprise to me, as I don't make a big deal of asking viewers to smash that bell at the start of my videos. I do say it at the end of my videos occasionally, but by that time half of you on average have stopped watching. Yes, of course, I would love more of my subscribers to see my videos on their devices when I publish them, rather than relying on the goodwill of the algorithm. So I could mention this more often at the start of my videos, but ultimately I feel like it interferes with whatever the content is and it can be jarring. And I just feel that lots of people find it annoying if a creator is asking at the start of every video. On top of this, I don't feel like this is as important as just creating compelling content so people come and look for your stuff rather than being notified of it. And also, the next thing I show you has a big influence on me. Check this out. When I look at my stats, it tells me that YouTube is pushing homepage, recommended, trending, and search really, really hard. 59.3% of my total views in 2019 came from viewers who were not subscribed to me. That's 125,423,373 of my views last year. It's the majority. And that tells me that whilst growing a strong subscriber base who always want to see your style of content and personality is still a very important part of the puzzle, and you definitely need that foundation there, getting your videos and channel to be favorable with the algorithm so you were seen regularly on recommended, homepage, search, and up next is equally important for views and growth, if not more. So how do you do this? How do you grow and become algorithm favorable? How do you get your videos to be seen? From my experience, 8 years on YouTube full time and the stats, the two most important factors here are click-through rate and watch time. You get good click-through rate by having a strong thumbnail and title. As I said earlier, that's all you have to separate yourself in this sea of content. And you get good watch time by producing quality videos that keep your audience engaged all the way. The start of your video is the most important element to this. What is the hook? Why should someone keep watching? Why do you deserve to hold their attention? And we will look into this further when I look at some of my best performing videos next. You may be wondering, why is watch time so important though? Well, it simply comes down to money and adverts. If you've got a longer video, you can put more adverts in it. Therefore, you and YouTube can make more money. YouTube are a company, they want to make as much money as possible, so therefore they will promote videos that have longer watch time because they can insert more adverts into them. More watch time, people staying for longer on the platform, and more retention. That's my understanding of it. So back to my videos, 26 of them last year achieved over 1 million views. And I consider this a great result for my channel, and I'm happy with that. Out of those 26 videos, 11 of them were related to Battlefield, 7 were related to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, 4 of them related to Apex Legends, 1 of them to Jedi Fallen Order, 1 of them to Sea of Thieves, 1 to Hunt Showdown, and 1 of them to Crossfire. My top 5 were Apex Legends Pro Tips and Secrets with 5.4 million views, Jedi Fallen Order Is Not What You Think with 4.5 million views, Most Satisfying Long Range Sniping in Battlefield ASMR with 3.5 million views, Rare and Beautiful Battlefield 1 Animations with 3.1 million views, and Battlefield 5 Banned for Using This with 2.6 million views. I won't go into the specific stats of each video here, but I will guess as to why these particular videos performed best for me. Interestingly, I think they're all quite different styles of video too. So Apex Legends Pro Tips, my most popular video of the year. Why did this do well? I think it's a case of title, timing, and content. This video was made 4 days after the game released, and with how quickly Apex exploded, people were searching a lot on YouTube for tips and tricks on how to improve their gameplay. When a new game drops, and it's one as popular and complex as Apex, everyone wants to know the secrets, the stuff that the game doesn't tell you. And all this video is that. Actually useful tips plus relevant content on screen and simple explanation. Jedi Fallen Order is not what you think it is, new gameplay. This was my second most popular video of 2019, and it's a combination of an intriguing title and new gameplay plus information that I think made this a success. The title is a challenge to the viewer. What do you mean it's not what I think it is? How do you know what I think it is anyway? And timing played an important role in this too. From my perspective, a month before this game launched, there were still a lot of question marks about what type of game it was. Based on what was shown at EA Play, I feel that a lot of people thought it was quite a generic hack and slash, but in reality, it was much more open world with a good story and a pinch of Uncharted and God of War. And I got into that in the video, and the title definitely helped to stir that intrigue in people. The footage here was new gameplay. It was at the time, plus as much concise information about the game in 10 minutes. Also, you can never write Star Wars off, the audience is massive, and putting a lightsaber and a fallen ATST in the thumbnail ticks a couple of those fan boxes. Most satisfying long-range sniping in Battlefield ASMR. This was quite simple. Some nice long-range sniper shots in Battlefield 5. No commentary with occasional text to set the scene and provide context and reaction. This video took me longer to produce as I only wanted to include my best shots and kill streaks in there, so in reality 10 minutes of video here took me an entire week to create. It's chilled out and there's a massive audience on YouTube for no commentary gameplay and it's fun to watch. The title insinuates that it is, and opening with a few strong clips keeps people watching to see what the next clip is. Rare and beautiful Battlefield 1 animations. Although this was my fourth most popular video in 2019, I actually released it in August 2018, and from August 2018 to December 2018 it had already accrued 3 million views. Now it's on around 6 million. So this video is what some people in the industry might call evergreen content, and it's been recommended heavily and boosted by the YouTube algorithm because of its strong watch time and click-through rate. I spent a lot of time on the thumbnail to make it look interesting and oh, I've never seen that before. And it's a video that will always be watchable and relevant to some extent too. It's not news or a flash in the pan, rather interesting details and animations that you may not see or notice in a video game. I also recorded and presented this video in 4K, so the graphics look very nice too. And some people just like to see nice graphics. Finally, the fifth most popular video for me of 2019 was Battlefield 5 banned for using this. The title and thumbnail are intriguing. What is this? Why does the game look like that in the thumbnail? And will I be banned if I use it? This video looked at a problem with Battlefield 5 and a software called NVIDIA Inspector. This is a program that you could use to adjust the detail of the game to make it look incredibly simplistic and improve your visibility significantly. It wasn't labeled as a cheat either, but some people said they were banned for using it, and thankfully eventually it was patched and fixed. I think it's just a good title and thumbnail, and the topic itself is quite interesting. There's a bit of a grey area. Is it cheating? Is it not? And that always opens up a good discussion in the comments, which leads to more interactions. And YouTube likes interactions on videos. The more interactions you get, YouTube will think that's a good video and is more likely to promote it. So if you can get people talking in the comments, that's always good. So what was my worst performing video? What got the least views? Well, it might surprise you to know that it's an Apex Legends video, taking the top spot and, as it seems, the bottom. This one was titled Chunga's Challenge Apex Legends Season 1, and I released this in March when Season 1 of Apex Legends had just gone live, and it scored 81,273 views. I would say for my channel average that's low, and I could just say maybe it was a slow day for YouTube and something broke and it didn't send out the notification enough. But I would prefer to look at the data and maybe take a guess at it that way instead. The average watch time on this video is actually not bad. It's above my channel average at 5 minutes and 58 seconds. The sentiment in the comments and the likes to dislike ratio was good too, although there weren't many comments in total. It's a video that I was very happy with and I spent a lot of time on. I added music and stylistic editing, a challenge I set myself to see how many opponents I could complete a finisher on with the character Gibraltar. Why did it get my lowest views of the year then? Well, I can take a few guesses. The click-through rate on this video was lower than usual, only 2.3%. And maybe that's because the style of the thumbnail that I went for was quite different to my usual style, more colourful, and I used a different font. I just wanted to try something different here. Obviously, it didn't work. In terms of SEO, perhaps not many people were searching for the word chungus, and it's not really related that much to Apex 2. I could have definitely come up with a better title, and I can learn a few lessons from all of this. At the end of the day, maybe it was just a bad video or a concept that people didn't find interesting. Moving on, some other tidbits that I thought you might like to see. Demonetization or limited ads, the dreaded yellow symbol. Were any of my gaming videos demonetized in 2019? Well, I feel like I play by the rules. I made a decision in 2018 as well to cut swearing out of my videos completely, so there's none of that. And video gaming content, as per YouTube's own guidelines, is classed differently to real life violence, so we should be good. Let's see. None. 0. I had no yellow symbols in 2019. All of my videos were deemed ad friendly. I attribute this to a couple of reasons. I think primarily not having any swearing in them and being very careful about what words are in the title, the description, and in the first 30 seconds of the video. If you don't want the yellow symbol, you have to think hard about any word that you use, either spoken or typed, and how they could be construed or interpreted in a non-advertiser friendly fashion. And remember that that first initial flag is probably going to come from a bot, a robot that's analysing everything that's said in your video. And bots don't have context, so you need to think about that too. And not getting the yellow symbol isn't just about making money too. If you get it, YouTube is less likely to promote your video as it won't make them as much money on ads. Therefore, the algorithm may look at that and go, you know what, I'm not going to send that video out to more subscribers or put it in recommended or trending because this other video that I've got here is way more profitable and ad friendly. So you know what, I'm just going to leave yours there and promote this other one instead. Goodbye, Felicia. What about copyright then, or content ID? Did I get any of that business? Well, a little, and this can have an effect on revenue and your video being seen. The first video was this one, the Battlefield 5 Firestorm trailer breakdown. It was the music in the trailer that was flagged. In my opinion, it shouldn't have been, as this was a piece of transformative content. It's commentary and critique on the new gameplay trailer, but because of how YouTube's copyright system works, music studios have a lot of power. And often I've appealed these kinds of things, but they are rejected. The whole system needs changing and to evolve with the times because it's easily taken advantage of and it does not favour legitimate creators at all. My only other copyright problem in 2019 was with my Jedi Fallen Order walkthrough. In part 5 and 6 there's some quite familiar Star Wars music, which of course gets flagged automatically as Content ID copyrighted music. I did appeal both in this case and I had some help when I appealed them. Part 6 turned out okay, but Part 5 was not, and the claim wasn't released until a later date. And by that point it was too late, and that video earned me a total of $4.43 for 188,000 views. So that's it for the numbers. But I wanted to talk about how I personally felt with uploading daily to YouTube in 2019, how it affected me, my mental health, life in general, etc. I will be honest and frank with you, and none of what I'm about to say is a complaint. I did this all of my own volition. It was very difficult at times to keep up with the daily schedule. I always tried to keep the quality as high as I possibly could within the given timeframes, and throughout the whole year I never uploaded and published a video that I wasn't happy with. I didn't have much of a social life last year. It was just pretty much work the whole time. The major difficulties I faced were when I travelled and was away from home for events or on small breaks. Luckily, YouTube has the ability to schedule uploads, so if I was traveling to the US for a few days for a capture event, E3, Gamescom, events in London, whatever it was, I would have to produce more videos to cover every single day that I was away. That meant working way more before I left and often stressing and not sleeping as many hours. The most challenging period though was during November. I was lucky enough to be able to spend 3 weeks in the United States on holiday. But this meant that I had to make up 21 days worth of content. But my audience wouldn't have known if I hadn't said anything because everything was business as usual. There was a video a day. So before I left, I produced 14 extra videos, and my plan was to make more when I was out there in my downtime. My holiday also fell within the release of Jedi Fallen Order, which was a game that I had promised my viewers I would do a walkthrough of. I didn't get an early copy of the game though, unfortunately, so I couldn't record that walkthrough before I left home. But if I wanted people to see it and get good viewer numbers on it, realistically I had to start the walkthrough when the game released while I was on holiday on day one. So I went ahead and bought an Xbox at Best Buy, downloaded the game and put together a haphazard setup in the place I was staying to record and edit my walkthrough of that game in the evenings and early mornings. Again, this isn't a complaint, I'm not looking for sympathy. I really enjoyed the game. It was just the reality of completing this challenge because I got to November and I wasn't going to give up. So what takeaways have I learned from this? I'll try and keep it brief. Daily gaming video content definitely helped my channel grow in 2019. It challenged me to create something every day and I've enjoyed many aspects of it. It also allowed me to introduce more variety and I'm extremely happy with the audience I have now and I'm very grateful that you tune in. Daily videos meant that my audience were actively looking for and expecting a new video every day too. More importantly, I don't feel like I'm pigeonholed into making videos on one specific game or franchise, and honestly that's a nice feeling, being able to keep myself engaged and interested with new gaming experiences rather than just the same thing again and again. This gives me more creative freedom and to introduce new video ideas and themes. I also learned that more than anything, your title, thumbnail and watch time are the most important things. The title and thumbnail must create intrigue and inspire people, introduce an air of mystery perhaps, but the content and quality of the video after they click is equally as important. Don't clickbait people and fail to deliver on the promise of the title and thumbnail. Instead, think of it like this. If you can keep people watching, interested and engaged, your videos will be more enjoyable for your viewers, they'll be seen more and promoted by YouTube. Whether that's by educating, offering a new perspective, tips, tricks, commentary, making someone laugh, cry, stirring any emotion, whatever it may be. Think about how you feel when watching other people's videos. Which ones do you click on? Which ones do you watch all the way through and why? Which ones do you just stop after 2 minutes because you get bored? So structure of the video is very important. You've got to keep people on their toes, subvert their expectations, and often a specific theme or a good story works well. There's plenty of ways to weave a narrative into a video, be it a gaming video or just a trip to the shops. Sometimes simplicity works very well on YouTube too. Be clear and concise at times. Take a simple idea, make it look and sound good, trim the fat, and you never know how many people might enjoy it. With that said, my plans this year incorporate the lessons that I've learnt and continue to create regular and relevant gaming videos. I'm not committing to daily uploads though, and I will spend more time editing and crafting content in 2020. I've already drafted up a few bigger video ideas that will take more time to create, but hopefully are viewed and enjoyed more and have the potential to go viral. They will be different types of content though to what I usually make here too. I would love to secure a long-term sponsor again that makes sense for my channel and my audience, and also to start live streaming more often and to sign a deal with one of the big streaming platforms. I really enjoy live streaming and the interaction on offer there is good. My live streams in the past on YouTube and Twitch typically have had great reactions from my regular viewers, and I'd love to do that more often. I want to show more of my personality in my content too and produce more videos which are just about the joy of gaming, playing with friends and having a good time. Hopefully if you've been watching my channel in 2020, you've been seeing some of that so far. I'm also committing to collaborating with more people and working with new creators outside of my usual sphere of friends. It could be good fun and you never know what will come of it. And that's all for today folks. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, a dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more, hit that bell, and I'll see you in the next one.